like to welcome everyone back to So-Called Experts. Today I got my boy Hernandez with me.
What's going on?
Today we're going to talk about the NFL draft. And I got the perfect guest for me today because we have a different way we think of quarterbacks. And it's exemplified in the draft this year. You got Andrew Luck, the pocket passer, the accurate guy, and RG3. He seems to think the scrambling quarterback is the wave of the future, the new era, the way to go. I happen to think that the guy in the pocket is still the best option out there. So if you're the coach, who do you take with the first overall pick?
Well, see, the thing is, and to start this argument off, you have to be fair to say that Andrew Luck himself is a very mobile quarterback.
Right.
He himself is a very good athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He can run and he can throw on the run. Mm-hmm. And plus he has cerebral in his game.
Right.
So between those two guys, I think Andrew Luck is probably your best pick. But you can't. He's your safest pick because he can scramble away from bad situations.
Kind of like Aaron Rodgers.
He's closest to Aaron Rodgers. Right. RG3, he's the kind of guy who even when things do break down, he's gonna make a huge play out of it if he gets out of it, because he's probably the most mobile quarterback who's got size. He's not like Michael Vick where he's fast, but he's probably not the biggest quarterback. Right. Tim Tebow is the bigger quarterback, but he's not as fast. Yeah. But he's still very agile. He's an athlete himself. Cam Newton, I think he's probably the best I've seen ever, even over Michael Vick. And I think that the fact that the losses they did take last year was by small margins, and I think he give him a few weapons, and he's going to be more dangerous.
So do you think RG3 is going to be better than Cam Newton?
The thing is with RG3 is he's got it looks to be like more accuracy, and he is faster than Cam Newton. He is straight line faster, and he's got the same type of size. I see a little bit of a smaller frame on RG3, but he is fit where he's muscular, so I don't know whether he can take those shots or not. But I think that RG3 is going to be one of those quarterbacks that could just totally change the game and the way defenses approach the game.
So as you guys can see, as a Cowboy fan,
I hate RG3.
How do you think he changes the Redskins if he goes there next year, if they take him with the number 2 pick?
He totally makes him a dynamic team. If he has the type of fourth quarter championship type drive in him, if he can be that quarterback, that team will be very successful. I don't know that he can drive the offense every time they get the ball. If he can do it, if he can make those 80-yard drives every time, he can probably, right now, being that he comes from a smaller school, not as tough as the SEC,
Right. Well, it's real offensive in the Big Ten or the Big 12.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of guys who've come out of there recently, like Crabtree. Bradford,
yeah.
There's just I think he's very good. I just hope I'm wrong totally, because he's going to be a Redskin.
So with that, the reason we were arguing about this earlier was top 5 quarterbacks. This was before Peyton Manning was healthy. Obviously, the top 3 were Rodgers, Breeze, Brady. And then you got Eli in there now. And the 5th one, I was saying, you can see Ben Roethlisberger. You were going with Cam Newton. Now, as a rookie, you're willing to throw this guy into the top 5 quarterback mix. What makes you throw him in there so quickly?
Because when I had Cam Newton as a fantasy quarterback last year.
Which so I traded to him.
I got from him or Felix Jones.
Right.
And I got Jonathan Stewart.
Never getting a Cowboy again on my team.
I watched a lot of Cam Newton games, and when I saw him play, I never saw him where he didn't have poise. He has what Ben Roethlisberger had when it was time to tighten up your cleats, move the offense forward. He basically put his ears back and he was ready to be a quarterback. I see the same thing with Cam Newton, but he's way better as far as he can throw on the run. He can run, and when he does run, he can score 80-yard touchdowns. He's dangerous, and I just think he needs a couple weapons, and he can be a Super Bowl quarterback.
But the thing with that, my argument against that was we've seen people come in and in 1 year make a difference, be dynamic. Vince Young in his, I think, rookie or second year led the Texans to the playoffs. Michael Vick came in and set the league on fire. But it's longevity, I think, that puts you in a top 5 argument, which I think Berger's kind of got there. Someone like Phillip Rivers, maybe even Tony Romo. But you think after 1 year, Cam Newton has done enough to be in that category?
I think he can arguably be in there. I don't know that he's as solid as those other guys are as far as top 5. I mean, obviously there's an argument that he shouldn't be there because he hasn't done enough. But I mean, the fact that he did break rookie records as a quarterback, and these are quarterbacks that the ones that have these records are the quarterbacks that are the best right now in their as careers, and therefore I think he deserves to be already a top 5. And if you take those quarterbacks that are there, whether it's what they've done in the past, it's about what are you going to do for me this coming up season. I think Cam Newton is one of those guys who should be in that mix.
So fantasy wise, is he the first quarterback you take in the draft this year?
There's probably no comment on that.
You don't give away your trade secrets?
I can't right now. It's a little too early for that. You know, when we get to fantasy football, then.
To be continued. You guys tune in when we get closer to the season. Fantasy football talk. That's probably going to dominate this show right here. But Cowboys, what do you guys do in the draft this year?
Man, it's tough because we've got a lot of holes in our defense and.
A lot of holes.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes. I think you can argue for any level of our defense, D-line, linebacker. As far as, you know, linebackers probably a little bit less because we do have solid starters. But, you know, then there's a secondary where we have it on every phase of our secondary, DB and safety. So,
but now without Newman, that's a big hole, right?
Well, yeah, we're also signed Brandon Carr, and we're paying him like #1 money. So
is he worth it? Is he #1 money?
To me, I don't think so. But at the same time, it's always because everything I know of Brandon Carr is Miles Austin tearing him up.
Okay.
You know, and now he's on our team. So hopefully he learns from that every day as far as going up against Austin. Brian, he's got 2, you know, real good wide receivers to go up against and prove he's #1. I think we'll know when the week 1 comes up whether he's really a #1.
I say week 1. Quarterback controversy starts. Kyle Orton, Tony Romo. Do you sign a guy to a 3-year contract to just sit on the bench like Kyle Orton, a proven winner, or is there something there right there?
I think knowing that that Romo has been hit so much in these last couple of years, and as far as our O-line being, you know, pretty much one of the lower rated O-lines in the whole league until we got Tyron Smith. I think that it was pretty obvious that it was dangerous for Romo out there because he was always getting hit. Now he's going up against Orakpo twice a year. He's going up against JPP and the Giants D-line.
And now you got the Eagles just getting DeMarco Ryan.
The Eagles are sick on defense right now, and that's what they do is rush the quarterback. You know, it's tough out there, so you know you got to have a backup, and he has to be a good one because we ran into a whole year almost without our starting quarterback, and we couldn't beat the best team. So,
all right. Well, with that said, stay tuned. We got more so-called experts coming up. Stay tuned. We're gonna go basketball next. So for my boy Hernandez, any final shout-outs?
Just want to say what's up to my little Orioles. Hope we have a good year.
Go Orioles! We play tonight, 5:30. Indio, come check us out. For Delara, so-called experts, and we're out.
Peace.